Hey, everybody.
Howdy, folks.
Welcome to podcast number 2, which is number 3, 2 of 2018, but 3 overall.
Yeah.
The Browns.
That's us.
Yeah, because we are the Browns.
If you didn't know that already.
Fun times, fun times.
So, anyway. So as we've sort of established so far through our podcast, the focus of what we're doing here is our marriage, whether it be how chugging beers relate to our marriage, or how getting nutso over some football relates to our marriage, or whatever. But the basic thing is that we come to these as a couple. And, you know, whether we're burping or whatever, you know, couple goals. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, these are our couple goals, so
Right.
let us know what your couple goals are, because to each their own, and ours, there are burping, chugging, football, whatever strikes us at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Goals.
And so today's the 6th, right?
Yes.
So, you know, let's see, what's 6, 5, 4, 3, so I guess 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
If you count today.
Mm-hmm.
So number one news is 4 days ago,
Including today.
on the 3rd, however you want to count backwards,
Whether it's 3 or 4, whichever.
was our wedding anniversary.
Yes. 14 years.
Mm-hmm. And I can't say that part of the reason that we hadn't gotten to this point was some of the things that we talked about on our blogs.
Right. Because although we knew each other a couple years before we got married, we only dated, courted, whatever you want to call it, 3 months.
Yeah.
Technically. We only dated 3 months, and we just celebrated our 14th anniversary. So that's a big milestone for us. Disappointment maybe for others, but to us it's pretty important. And we, to this day, I think even love each other more than we did the day we got married.
Yeah.
Because we have been put through a lot. And that is an understatement to say a lot, because we won't go into it, but we've been put through a lot. Where a lot of marriages would have dissolved probably within our first couple of years.
But one thing I think, really, you can't. It doesn't seem like in day-to-day life. It doesn't seem like that big a deal. But I don't think you can put too much importance on having fun being married.
A lot of times, especially this past year, for us, it seems like, at least for me, a lot of the therapy, if you will, have been our videos. Our burping, our chugging, although it's stupid to some, or not funny, or what have you, it's times that we are together and we're having fun and not thinking about anything else. And that is very important to me, because I'm a worrywart. I worry about everything. If it can be worried about, I will worry about it. And when we're doing these videos, I don't think about anything else. And to me, that is great therapy.
Well, and I think when you do them, and it doesn't have to be the videos, it can be whatever's fun for you
Our
as
date
a
nights or
couple.
whatever.
When you do them on a regular basis, at least every week, but more if you can,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't get caught up in this routine where you forget why you're married to your husband or wife, or it doesn't get to the point where everything seems so tedious,
Mm-hmm.
And the point is, life gets tedious. And you don't ever want to relate that person that you're in love with to that tediousness of
Right.
life. They are the break from that tediousness. They are the reason why you deal with these other tedious things.
What's funny to me, I'm going to speak for both of us, but you can correct me if I'm incorrect. One of my mother's favorite sayings is, "You're my daughter, I know you better than anyone else." And that is so far from the truth, it's not even funny. Because if my mom knew, clearly I don't think she would not love me or anything, but my mom does not know me. My mom knows me when I lived with her as a teenager. She doesn't know me as the 44-year-old who enjoys doing the drinking contest or the burping contest or whatever. She doesn't see my bad days. She doesn't see my good days. The person who knows me better than anyone else is Josh. And I feel like I'm the same way with him. No one sees the true Josh like I see the true Josh. No one sees the true Jennifer like he sees the true Jennifer. Because we are together 24, well, I won't say 24/7 because we do work. But we're together anytime we're not working or something else. And that's probably actually my mother calling for the third time today. But
I think it's important to realize every person that's married, I think, should be that for their spouse.
right.
But you should be there for them during their bad days. But to keep your marriage going, to keep it lasting, to keep it for 14 years, or to keep it for 20 years, or 25 or 30, you can't expect the fun days to just come along on their own.
Right.
You gotta make something that's
Right.
fun. And we've kind of done that with this. This has been our thing here recently. And so when you have shitty days at work, or together when you have shitty days because of bills or because of whatever.
Or kids or life or whatever.
Right. You've got these fun things and you connect over them. And these things keep you close and they keep you reminded about what's important in life when everything's all to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Because if on Thursday or whatever, you just have this all-out shitty day and your spouse is there for you, but together you remember that on Friday or Saturday
You're doing
gonna
X.
do this fun thing.
Yeah. Which is another thing I want to
And it
touch
gives
on
you
real quick.
happiness.
One thing that Josh and I have decided, we started kind of doing in November, and then with Christmas and all that, we kind of put it on the back burner, but we're starting back up in January.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to do our date nights, only this time, twice a month, together we plan something, and the other 2 times per month, one of us picks what we're going to do and not tell the other, to keep it kind of spontaneous and fun. And so like this month, next week, well this week, this is what we're doing. We're doing it's the weekend of our anniversary, and because our anniversary was Wednesday, we're having fun doing our podcast, we're having some beers, and we just ate chili. Next week we're going to, together we're going to plan something. I think that might change from what we had originally planned. And then I'm going to plan something, then we're going to do something together, and then Josh is going to plan something, and it will continue on through. I've already got next month, so I'm very excited about, so, and I think I have this month, so I got to do a little research. But as we've mentioned before, we live in a small town of Oak Ridge, not much to do here. It's definitely not a what's the word I'm looking for?
Happening.
Yeah, happening scene in Oak Ridge.
We're
it's not happening in Oak Ridge. So
we're 30 or 40 minutes from getting to somewhere to do something in Knoxville where it is
a happening scene.
Yeah, it's a bigger city. There's things to do.
So we're kind of limited if we want to keep it to where you want to be intimate after the happening scene, because a 30 to 40 minute drive on the way home, it makes you tired and sleepy.
Right, you have a few drinks and then
so
you eat something and then you hang out for a while and then you don't start heading home until a little later, and then by the time you get home your energy's just kind of
it's like sad. I'm ready for bed, and it's not bed fun stuff you want to do. I'm ready to sleep. So we have to kind of work with what we got if we want to keep it here for our dates. On occasion there comes a band that we want to go see that we might be like, okay, well, we're going to go to this concert tonight. Let's go see this. And that's fine. It's not, all about, it's just it's about being together. Intimacy is part of it, but it's not always the focal point, but a lot of times it is, because sometimes it's work has gotten us, has beat us down, or family life has beat us down, or just the day-to-day grind has gotten us down, and it's just like we're tired. We just want to sleep. Just let us sleep. But sometimes we need to refocus our energy on each other, because there are times that and to be honest, this week I have told him I feel like we need to focus a little bit more on us, because I feel like we're kind of getting to where we're drifting apart again. Although we are very happily married, that doesn't mean that there are times that life throws us balls to the walls and it's just like we're not distant from each other. It gets tiring, and I told him the other day, I said, I feel like this weekend we need to refocus on each other, because I feel like we're drifting apart again. And sometimes that happens. It doesn't matter how great your marriage is, or that's the dissolve or demise of a lot of marriages, is people lose their focus on what's important, and they feel it's not worth the effort of trying to bring it back, and we still feel it's important to bring it back, and that's why I mentioned that to him, is because I feel like we are kind of drifting apart. We've been sick, we've had Christmas, the stress of the holidays, we had our anniversary, and we were still sick, and we're still kind of getting over it. So we're just trying to regroup and bring things back into perspective the way they should be. And just sometimes we need to be reminded that we need to refocus our priorities.
Yeah. Well, I agree with that, because you can't...
Yeah, but part of this is to be honest, so I'm being honest.
It doesn't happen automatically. Because, especially, every situation is different for every couple, but, a lot of times whether it's your work, whether it's kids, whether it's being sick, whether it's, stuff to do around the house, you've always got something that, or multiple things competing for your attention. And what you have to remember is, like, as far as like working around the house, you can do everything you can do around the house, and next week it's all going to come back and you're going to have more to do. And if that's, if you had your job, you had that, you always let these things that are immediately trying to get your attention, if you always only just answer those things, then really,
some point
that's
you
all
become
your life's
roommates.
gonna, right? And really,
Who
that's
share
all
a
your
bed.
life's going to be.
Yeah.
And people aren't happy with that situation. It's not the situation that anybody wants. So you have to consciously say, these things are going to be put on the back burner because they're not as important as our marriage. And, now we're going to focus on our marriage. And when you do that regularly enough, then the times that it just happens on its own, those are increased. Because then you keep that closeness, and so the things like that become more automatic, and when you let other things take over, and then the automatic things happen less too, but the automatic things the conscious part of it doesn't happen because the automatic things happen. It's the other way around. The automatic things happen because of what you're doing consciously.
Right.
And when you're working for it, then the other things, the benefits and everything that come along automatically, that are, the side effects of having a good relationship that are good, then those things come along. And if you're not doing that, then the negative things come along.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about what you're working for.
Right. And the devil will try to kick you down constantly.
So,
But
it's...
we've reevaluated 2018 and what our goals are and what we expect for 2018. Now we are on the downward slope to our 15th, which is a milestone anniversary. And we had mentioned this in our last podcast that we are for our 15th anniversary. As I pour a beer, we both want to lose some weight for this year, and when we got married, it was a spur of the moment, let's do it type things. Josh looks at me funny because he asked me several times before I finally said, let's go, and he was ready to take me before I changed my mind. Top things.
I knew what I wanted.
So we did not have a wedding, a traditional wedding. We got married by a large sweaty guy who was moving offices, and it was not romantic, it was not sweet. We both dressed up, but no, I didn't have a gown. So for our 15th...
No, it wasn't like a wedding dress up. It was like a...
going to church dress up.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so so I told him, we talked about for our 15th, because it is, you have your first, and then you have your 10th, and then you have your 15th. For this year,
We've probably been talking about this since our 10th. Almost.
Probably, yeah. So we are going to do just us, a photo shoot of a wedding, but it's going to be our 15th anniversary. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to finally get a wedding dress that I never had before, and it's not focused. The camera's not focused. I'm going to get the wedding dress that I never had before.
We'll make fish faces.
This is both of our second weddings, but he had a wedding the first time, I did not. So neither time did I have a wedding. So I want a wedding dress. And I want him to cry when he sees me. I do. I'm not even going to lie about it. I want you to cry. I want you to have tears. Be like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. So we're going to have pictures, and it's just going to be the two of us, and we're going to have fun and just make it a day about us. For number 15. So we are now on the downward slope. So leading into that is we do have a blog that we have started. It is starting, everything's kind of starting over this year. It's called marriedcoupleshealthjourney.com, where we're going to start a blog about our weight loss journey this year. to get fit for our Big 15.
So we got plans.
Yes, which I need to lose a lot of weight by 6 months, within the next 6 months. Because they say you should buy your wedding dress 6 months before your wedding date, which will be our photo shoot, so that they can have plenty of time to adjust it. So, as I lose weight, we need to hurry up and get it adjusted. So,
well, probably, I mean, realistically, most of the weight, like towards your goal, are going to be lost in the first part. And then it's going to be 10 or 15 pounds, which, you know, for dress-wise or whatever, they'll resize and make adjustments. But it'll be essentially the dress size by then. And then they'll be doing anything you need to take in or whatever. If you lose 10 or 15 more pounds, it will be.
I literally want a jaw to drop, like a holy shit. That's the effect I'm going for. Although he sees me all the time, but just to be I want him to be like, holy shit. That's the tears and holy shit. That's what I'm going for.
My wife's a gorgeous woman, and it won't surprise me at all. She's gorgeous in her wedding dress. That's exactly what I would expect.
Clearly my husband's delusional. But anyway, we have some other blogs that were...
Damn it. What is it?
2 days,
I had it resting on here, and it just like slipped.
We have our guitars, ghosts, and gear that we have, where we blog about Josh's guitars and gear, and I do most of the ghost stuff because
It's guitar gear and ghost, though, right?
Guitars, gear. You are correct. Sorry, we've had a few, so I'm kind of not clear. Guitars, gear, and ghosts. Yes, that is correct. Guitars, gear, and ghost.com. Josh does guitar videos and does review on gear.
Amps and guitars and pedals and stuff. But also, I mean, gear also includes
ghost hunting gear, which we are new to and we are working on getting.
We've got a couple pieces that we've used before, but it's not.
But it's
very low tech what we.
Yeah, so we're in a work in progress on that. But as far as the ghost part right now, we're focusing on some places we want to go visit, some things that we see, our own experiences, and things like that. Oddly enough, we also have one called Baking, Creating, and Decorating. And this week, our oven element went out. It is in 2 pieces. So, while in the process of getting a new stove element or oven element and waiting on it to get here, we will be doing some baking on stovetop, not the stuffing, stovetop.
Recipes you can cook on the stovetop.
Yes.
In your eyes.
Yes. So,
I guess if we're specifying not these eyes, you can't cook with them unless you're Superman. But
see, this is what keeps our marriage alive, people. So we will be doing stovetop recipes, not the dressing recipes. To cook on the stove, iron skillets and whatnot.
And also coming up this month are going to be candies and things like that too.
Yes, but I can't give away some of the recipes because they were my Bobo's recipes.
We don't have to give away the recipes, but they're going to be.
I will tell you this. I will tell you.
Yeah,
I will show off what I'm working on, or what we're working on. However, what I will give you are Pinterest recipes. So I will do Pinterest recipes and then do my Bobo's recipes, which I cannot give you because they're family recipes.
But proprietary.
That's right. So we will do similar, and then I will give you Bobo's. But I'm not giving you Bobo's recipes. Bobo, if you don't know, check out blog or the video number 2. You will find out who my Bobo is. So we have that coming up as well. Some goodies coming up. Prepping for Valentine's Day, got that coming up. Easter's coming up. In between Valentine's Day, we have St. Patrick's Day.
And we always talk about celebrating our Irish roots.
Yes, my birthday is March 16th, and we are both Irish, so I get like a 2-day celebration.
And yeah, we talk about doing like an Irish recipe and slamming some Jameson.
Irish car bombs.
And
then we have Easter immediately.
Which there's some other
Oddly enough,
videos.
Easter this year is on April Fool's Day.
You know, really, there's very few Easter drinking recipes. Crazy.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
You'd think there'd be more, though.
I guess, like, drink wine. Jesus.
We like wine.
Yeah. Jesus turned water into wine for a party, so.
Yeah. We'll have to come up with some good stuff. But Easter's coming up, so we have some fun stuff for that. There's another blog that we have I prefer to not discuss on here. We embarrass our family enough without having to discuss that one. Which is not embarrassing stuff, per se. We just don't want our family to know what we do.
I guess it depends on how prude you are.
Yeah, because we have some prude family members on both sides. And probably prude co-workers. I know I do.
I guess.
Not all of them, but I know there are some prude ones I work with.
I guess check out our other blogs and maybe drop a link in or something.
You can email us. Which one's a good email to email us to? And we will tell you the extra blog.
Well, there's Browns.
Yeah, okay, you can
blogging it.
You can email us at DABROWNSBEBLOGGINGIT@gmail.com. The Browns be blogging it. And ask us what our fourth, and you have to specify our fourth blog is. And we will tell you, but you must be 18 or over to have access to it.
You could also guitar gears and ghosts at gmail.com.
Guitars, gear, and ghosts. GUITARS GEARAND
GHO.
Yeah, GHOSTS. I have to think, did I spell gear or ghost? Ghost.com. So, guitars and ghosts are plural. Gear is singular. .com.
Mm-hmm.
And we will respond with what the fourth one is. But family, we will know if it's you or not.
And really, if it's family, why are you asking us about that one? It's kind of clear the nature.
Yeah.
Do you really want to know?
Curves.
No, I don't think you really want to know.
But it's a lot of fun stuff. Good times. Good times. Have you seen the... it seems like I've seen it before, but I watched it again this morning. Or yesterday morning I watched it. Betty White doing Dusty Muffin on Saturday Night Live. It's kind of like Sweaty Balls, but it's her doing Dusty Muffin.
NPR thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was hilarious. You should watch it. I'm going to have to show it to you. I don't know what made me think of that, but I meant to ask you about that yesterday. I was cracking up. Betty White is hilarious. Like, old lady goals, I want to be like Betty White. I love her.
She's been old for so long.
I know, but she's freaking awesome. Like, she's just like, I don't give a shit. I'll say whatever.
I mean, like, 30 plus years ago, she was on a show about being an old lady. with other old ladies.
Huh?
But she's still kicking.
Yeah. Golden Girls was funny. Sophia's my favorite on there. Oddly enough, did you know Sophia was the youngest one, actually? Although she played Dorothy's mother, she was the youngest character in real life.
Youngest actress, you mean?
Yeah, youngest actress.
I thought I saw somewhere she was around the same age as the other ones.
She was younger. She was the youngest out of all of them, although she played Dorothy's mother. Sophia. She is my favorite. She's a spunky old gal. That's how I want to be, too.
I thought my grandmother's were. My great-grandmother.
That's how I want to be. I'll be embarrassing great-grandkids. Grandkids have no idea what's in store for them yet. And since we don't have great-grandkids yet, they really don't know what's in store for them. But our grandkids are... They're not going to be... Our kids get embarrassed to bring people around us. Mostly me, but... grandkids don't know better yet. That or they'll just think it's funny. Because, I'm their grandmother. You're their grandfather. It's completely different when it's a grandparent.
Yeah. The trick is to, you gotta sing it in there.
Yeah.
So that...
It's totally unexpected.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
That way they're all like, did they just really say that? And then you gotta let it sink in.
Okay, and now we want to touch on a little UT football. Jeremy Pruitt is now our new UT coach, which at the moment he is still coaching Alabama because there are
He'll be coaching in the national championship game.
Come Monday. So, can't really still root for Alabama. Even if our coach is the one coaching there. But, okay, we have seen
as
a lot.
As long as come Tuesday,
He's UT!
it's all Vol.
Oh, man. Well, Monday after the game.
Yeah.
Not Tuesday. We won't even wait till Tuesday. Monday after the game, he's all Vol. Pruitt. I know he's not watching this, but still. We had Magic Johnson follow us on Twitter today, and I think that's freaking awesome. Who was the other one that followed us? Pink's drummer. I love Pink. She is awesome. Her drummer followed us. There was another one that I was just like, so-and-so just followed us on Twitter. But I can't remember. I don't know, I was excited. But anyway, because that's been a month or so. And I was just like, what? Yeah. See, we're popular. At the Browns blog it, follow us on Twitter. Okay, back to the Pruitt stuff. We have seen all kinds of gear that say just Pruitt. Well, first off, y'all spell his name wrong. His name has 2 T's, not 1. So they're spelling it P-R-I-U-T with a power T and no other T. So, you marketing people, we've come up with some other alternatives. You could do P-R-U with the power U, like for UT. And then a small I and then the power T. So it looks like UT stands out. And then the other T, which is in his name.
The I could almost come in like under
the
T because it'd be smaller. So
right.
The UT would be like
boom.
I.
Right. Spell his name right, people. Oh my God. Jesus, who accepted that? Who proofread that and was like, oh yeah, that's his name? No, it's not. Good God. Spelling irritates me. Get it right. P-R-U-I-T-T is his last name, not P-R-U-I-T. He's our coach. Get it right. So,
Speaking of coaches, I saw 2 things.
I'm still sad T. Martin didn't come.
Yeah.
Wasn't even offered. still glad Philip Fulmer is the AD, finally. Should have been
I
that a
saw
long
that
time ago.
there was a potential for Butch Jones to coach at Catholic in a volunteer role.
What?
Of course, he's still getting paid by UT.
Yeah, but a volunteer role? A Catholic?
Yeah.
For
I don't know
real?
if he's got kids that are. Yeah, I don't know. But
I thought his kids were older. He's older than I am, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean anything. Kids my age. People my age are having kids now. Just what's wrong with y'all?
And then I saw, because apparently Derek Dooley had been
He got
wide
fired.
receivers coach at the Cowboys,
He got fired.
but that he's going to be an offensive coordinator at Missouri now, so he's back in the SEC. Yeah.
Okay, like, I liked Dooley. He seemed like a nice guy. I love the Dooley pants, and to this day, I still want Dooley pants. He will tell you. I tell him all the time,
What
I
you
want
need
Dooley
is
pants.
checkered.
I do need the
overalls.
checkered overalls, but
That's
I want
way
some.
better than the Dooley.
But I want some Dooley pants too. I want some just UT orange pants. I will rock those babies.
That's like.
I want 'em.
Yeah, they're seriously
Like-
orange. Those are like, fuck you, my legs are orange.
That's right. I have seriously wanted those ever since Dooley was coach here. I have said that for years now.
I mean, of all the coaches that have been here, I think that he's the only one that has full on committed to orange from the waist down.
I want some Dooley pants. I'm going to get, this year I'm getting Dooley pants. I'm going to lose weight and get Dooley pants. And I'm getting the checkered overalls. We need to get the grandkids some checkered overalls.
Yeah.
The checkered overalls are awesome also, but I just don't want anyone to mistake me for being pregnant. Because I will punch someone. One, to be pregnant you have to have the parts. Two, I do not. Chunky Duck, I admit to it. That's one of the issues with being a woman is if you have boobs, it's like you have to buy bigger stuff. So if you're top heavy, even if you're smaller everywhere else, you have to buy bigger stuff to accommodate the boobs that you carry. And sometimes it makes you look like you might be pregnant.
You could just get like stuff that fit everywhere else. So you'd be like super tight on the boobs.
Or not. Slutting it up isn't the goal, dear.
Just throwing ideas out there.
I have rolls, so no one's going to mistake me for pregnant, but if I lose weight and then have the boobs, you got to accommodate the boobs. Because I never lose the boobs. They've grown since we've been married somehow. Gone from a C to a freaking double D. And when I lose weight, they do not go any smaller. You're like a, what is it, Liar Liar? No. Is it Liar Liar where he's like, Jennifer Aniston is his, no, it's Bruce Almighty. Jennifer Aniston is Jim Carrey's wife in the movie. Or girlfriend, and she's like, is it me or if my boobs gotten bigger? And he's like, no. Which he wished for her boobs to be bigger. Is that what you do? Not that a C is small.
Well, I don't think I have like Bruce Almighty powers, but maybe rub them enough on them.
But anyway, in 2018, one of our big goals is to refocus on us and put us first. Our children are grown. We now have grandchildren. We have a daughter that's married. We have a daughter that has children. And we've done our part, which we stated in podcast number 2.
And probably in podcast number 1.
Probably. Although sometimes they forget that we have a life and our
Well, I think
life doesn't revolve around them anymore.
I think we forget with that too, and that's the most
Yeah.
important part.
Mostly me, because I worry about everything, and it's hard for me to let go of things. And it's just very hard for me to let go of things. Very, very hard.
We have to let them be adults.
Yeah. Sometimes I forget that.
And, and that's the way it is that's the way it is with every parent. At some point, you're never not a parent, but you're also, at some point, it's not the same. And you have to have another part of your life.
Right.
You can't always be the same, the parent that you are when
you
they're 3.
You can't always live for your children.
The parent that you are when they're 9 or 12 or 15. You can't be that forever, or you'll never have your own identity.
Well, they need to learn to live on their own and without constant reliability upon you. Right. Which is very hard for me. I'm a work in progress. We know this, but I'm doing better. I am doing better. I've done better about not asking questions, not getting involved. Every once in a while I ask a question, but I've done very good about trying to let stuff go, because not every problem is my problem. Sometimes, like he said, they got to figure it out on their own. If they ask my opinion on something, that's a completely different story. I will give my opinion gladly. 99% of the time they won't like it, but I will give my opinion.
Well, there are times that you have to step in for the best interest of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different than when they're younger. You don't step in immediately. You have to let them
figure stuff out.
Right, they got to sort through it.
What the hell? That was weird.
She just throwing erasers everywhere.
No, it came out of the pencil.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was weird. Okay, really, explain that one to me. I can't do it now. The pencil. Okay, I have sworn up and down this house is haunted. We both have experienced weird shit.
I'd laugh at you drink.
Huh?
I'd laugh at the eraser when you drink while you're...
Right now I'm shaking this pencil and the eraser's not going anywhere. It is still in here. Just a second ago, if you watched, somehow the eraser, I think I was even doodling. I wasn't even flipping it.
You did something that kind of...
The eraser flew over there.
It.
Well, anyway, the eraser flew over there. It's in the same position that it's in at the moment. That is not leaving the pencil. Because right here it is. Henry, good one. Henry is what I've named the ghost that lives here. I do think there's more than one now. I think there's a kid, I think there's a man, and I think there's a woman.
Are they a family or?
I don't know. But I do think there's at least 3. Because I've smelled female perfume. We've heard what sound like our children. Like we've heard our children say stuff when they're not here. I've had one grab me.
Our kids don't sound like kids.
No, but I think there's a kid here who's mischievous, who likes to play little tricks and stuff. I think that's who Asher is drawn to. Our grandson, he will look off and just giggle at nothing. He will just look and laugh. But it could be an adult playing with him. I don't know. But I have been grabbed. Danielle has been grabbed. I have seen shadows. I've smelled women's perfume. I have heard a woman. We've both heard. We've heard our children when they're not here. Just all kinds of stuff. But there is a blog about that on our guitarsgearandghosts.com. There's a blog about that, what we've experienced here. There's creepy stuff that happens here on occasion. When he's gone hiking, I don't sleep with the lights off. All the lights are on everywhere throughout the house. I'm not like a horror movie where all the lights are off and they're going through the house going, hello, hello, is anybody here? Because I'm not asking that. And I'm not going through saying hello. I'm in my bed, not moving, and praying nothing opens. Waiting for daylight with all lights on. But anywho, I guess we're done. He's just looking at me weird now.
I'm just listening.
Sometimes I just ramble. It's what I do. This is nothing. This is something he experiences all the time. So, 2018, we're focusing on us. We just had our anniversary. UT learned, working on 15, and our goals for losing weight to rock each other's world come our 15th anniversary. UT learned how to spell Pruitt because you spelled it wrong.
To during a game, we may have to just like video. Us watching the game. Mostly you.
If you're easily offended by words, do not watch a game that we actually record.
But we're not winning. I think you cuss less when we're winning.
Well, less, maybe. Depends on the stupid moves they do in between. There will be F-bombs.
I mean, the rest might make a bad call.
Josh says I'm more entertaining to watch than the games.
Well, unfortunately for the past. I mean, last year and the year before, and even the bowl game the year before that, we won. We won 3 bowl games in a row, and then our coach gets fired. But we know what the fuck going on.
Yeah.
But
I still feel bad for Jones because I really liked him. He reminded me of Fulmer.
And he was more like wound up than Fulmer for sure. But I've seen things talking about and if Pruitt's a good coach, then of course that's going to help. But they're saying, well, could he possibly turn it around and even win 10 games this year? Well, and who knows, maybe. But 90% of the players were players brought in by Butch Jones.
Yeah. If you want to see the worst fans in the world, you see UT fans. University of Tennessee fans are the worst fans in the entire world.
When Butch Jones took over UT, Dooley had left UT football with an empty cupboard. I mean, we had pretty much
nothing.
And and I'm not saying that Pruitt's not going to be a good coach. I'm going to assume that Fulmer brought him in and he came from Alabama. I'm going to assume he's a great coach.
Do you know the good thing about him being an Alabama coach is he knows all their stuff. So hopefully he will use that to beat them.
There's a lot of people that come out of Nick Saban's coaching tree, and they don't beat him very often.
Well, I hope we do.
Yeah.
And I really, really hope, my biggest hope for Pruitt is that he's really here because he wants to be. And that's the biggest thing, being a volunteer fan, is you want someone to be here because they want to be here. Not because they want a head coach position. Not because they want whatever. they want to be here because although we may have the worst fans, we also have the best fans.
Well, and not just that, but I mean, UT has had 10 years of struggling, but even with that, UT's not a nothing program. UT
Right.
is still one of the biggest football programs in the country, in the NCAA. We still have won 3 national championships.
Mm-hmm.
We've won SEC championships. We've won countless bowl games, and it's not a place we have. As far as our facilities,
Top notch.
yeah, some of the best in the country. Really, we're like top 10 in the country as far as the athletic facilities that we have. Have one of the best stadiums in the country, and there's lots of reasons to want to coach UT football. And
UT is his alma mater, but we both clearly, if you watch any of our videos, we have Tennessee gear on somewhere at some point. So we are truly diehard UT fans. No, we can't afford the box seats up in the skybox or whatever, but we are like diehard UT fans. When things get rough, we encourage. When things are great, we encourage. We might have our "what the fuck are they doing" moments, but all in all, at the end of the day, we truly love our Tennessee Vols. There is no doubt ever. Our neighbor has made comments, well, football season's starting, I will ignore all yells that come from your house, because she knows. She knows come football season, it's either woo or what the fuck. It's one of the two. Because she knows how we are.
So it's going to be about 8 more months.
So how long do you think after we lose a game, someone will be calling for Pruitt's head? It'll be the first game.
The first game we
because
lose,
there will be some asshole out there who's like, they need to fire that son of a bitch. But we lost one game. Oh my God, this is his first year. It won't matter.
I do think that
because we have dickheads for fans. I'm telling you, we have the worst and we have the best.
he really, unless, there's a guy like Kelly leaving and...
Yeah, I hate that too. I wish him the best, but I hate that.
Some Goldstein or...
Goldstein.
One is no, it's like Goldstein or something. It is an O-N. I can't remember. But he's one of our better defensive players. He's going to the NFL. And really, that's what you would expect from Pruitt to make our defense. Which, it's like back when we had John Chavis as our coordinator under Fulmer.
Yeah.
We had a defense. Our guys were so fast and just, aggressive and turnovers and, just one of the best defenses in all of college football. And so you hope that, that's what Alabama's had. Mm-hmm. And so you hope that he brings that here, and that's what.
I know. The championship is Monday. And we have Georgia and Alabama. And at the moment, our coach...
He's coaching in that game as defensive coordinator for Alabama.
And it's like... You want to root for a coach so he can hurry up and focus on UT.
Well, it's the last game either way.
Yeah, but it's just like, do you want Alabama to be number one?
Again.
Yeah.
But then the other thing is, do you want Georgia? Do you want to hear the Georgia fans? There's a lot of Georgia fans in the area.
You know, actually, a lot on my Facebook page.
Do you want to see
I really
Doug
think
Garrett's?
I have more. No, I don't want to see Doug Garrett's gloating. But I really think I have more Alabama fans on my page than on my Facebook than I do Georgia.
Yeah, they're called bandwagons.
I'm just saying. On my personal page, and I'm surprised at the UK people who, University of Kentucky, those people, although they're not in the playoffs, but I have a lot of UK player fans
Never
as
been
well.
Football playoffs.
No.
Although they beat us this year
Yes, they did.
on a damn failed Hail Mary from our part.
You
That
can
was
see
it.
that go one way or the other because we had was it our first game?
It was against
Second.
Georgia last year.
Yeah.
We did that.
That the Hail Mary, we're just like, holy shit, did that just happen? Oh my God, we won.
We had
And
the
then-
grandkids over, and you were in here sleeping with Asher. And I was in there, and T-Dog fell asleep while I was watching the game. But that was the point.
Because we were at the point of losing, so I'm just like, I'm going to bed.
They threw that Hail Mary, and when it didn't go, and we lost to Kentucky, at that point, I knew that Butch Jones would not be back next year.
So Butch Jones, I know it's like probably not a chance in snowball chance in hell that you're watching this. I still like I cried literally tears when Fulmer was. I had to turn off. I could tell you, we lived on Beverly Circle. I was in our bedroom folding laundry when he was giving his resignation speech. I cried. I had to turn it off. I'm not joking. When Fulmer was giving his forced resignation speech, I was crying like a freaking baby. You are the next person to Philip Fulmer that I have felt that way about.
Well, you know, the year
And I am
before,
still sad that you are not the coach. Nothing against Pruitt. I hope great things with Pruitt. But Butch Jones, you are second in my book to Philip Fulmer, and I love that man.
well, I mean, as far as, like Fulmer, the year before Fulmer was fired, we were in the SEC Championship.
Forced resignation.
Well,
I know what it means, but forced resignation sounds better than fired.
the year before that, we were in the SEC Championship game. And we lost, and then that year we struggled. But, I mean, how does a coach get to the SEC Championship game? The toughest conference in college football. You make it to the SEC Championship. That means you win the East. And the next year,
Yeah, let go.
they're pushing you out for another coach. And then, you know, Butch Jones last year wins 9 games, wins a bowl game, and then the year after that, fired.
With new people and injuries. I mean, like,
And-
for real. Good
You know,
Lord.
I don't know. I think Jones should have done something about the conditioning.
Yeah.
Whoever was handling that, something needed to be done. The injuries were ridiculous, and at one point you can consider it bad luck, and then at some point you're going to have to look at conditioning and stuff like that.
Well, yeah.
I
but
saw
I mean,
You know,
For
Pruitt's
real.
brought in a strength and conditioning coach from the Texans.
well, I
So-
do, you know, it is what it is. I wish Jones the best. Still sad he's not our coach. I thought he was done wrong.
And you want success for our coaches.
So I hope Pruitt comes in. I really hope people don't expect him to immediately be off the charts. If he is, that's fan-freaking-tastic. But,
Well, he's got
you
some
know-
players there. I mean,
well, yeah, and then we've got
he needs to
new
win a
recruits
few
coming
SEC
in.
games.
We've got some top recruits coming in.
Right.
So,
And they may or may not play this coming year.
Right.
You know, but I mean, he needs
but
to
I
win
mean,
a
we
few
have
SEC
top recruits
games.
coming in. So, I mean, that's good as far as recruiting goes. But, you know, I really hope that fans realize this is going to be his first year. And if you expect wins your first, like, just phenomenal wins your first year, I don't care who they come from. Because I'm sure people are, he's coming from Alabama. They're number one team. Seriously, people, come on.
Well, I mean, they'll say...
If you're so damn great, why don't you go after a freaking coaching position?
Well, that's like with, you know, Georgia and Kirby Smart. They'll be like, well, look where Georgia is. But the thing is when they fired Mark Richt, he went to Miami, but Georgia was loaded. When he took over, they were already loaded.
Well, people don't see it that way. They just say what they want to see and ignore what they want to ignore.
But, you know, and the thing is Tennessee's not bare.
Mm-mm.
So we need to win a couple SEC games. And there's, you know, you want to talk about all the great things that Jones did. Yeah, there's a few knocks on it. You know, we shouldn't be losing to Vanderbilt. We shouldn't be losing to Kentucky. By the time we lost to Kentucky, our season was going down the drain. Anyway, I don't know what was going on.
No.
But it was not good.
No. But I probably would have given him another year.
But, I mean, you kind of want to give somebody an opportunity to turn it around.
If y'all have great times all the time, you'd be more successful than you are. No matter who you are or what you're doing.
Yeah. But, I mean, hopefully we win a respectable amount of games this year. And,
well, I hope.
But, you know, every time you change coaches, there's going to be an issue. You know, you want, when you have a coach that's been there a few years, at that point you want him to try and get you into the point of competing for conference championships and stuff like that. And of course, competing for an SEC championship is almost automatically competing for a national championship. And I know people, as bad as UT's year was this year, at the beginning of the year, people were hoping to see us compete for the SEC East Championship.
I just hate how it went down.
Yeah. But, you know, hopefully within the next couple of years that I'm coached by Pruitt, that's what we see. We see UT competing for...
My hope for Pruitt is that he's here because he wants to be. Like, he truly wants
you want to hope
to be here. Like, he
know,
is here for the long haul. He's not here for the short term. He's not here for... I mean, I really hope he's here to be here. He's not a Kiffin. Fuck Kiffin. I hate Kiffin. Kiffin, you can fucking die and I wouldn't cry a tear.
Well,
it's pretty harsh, but that's how I feel.
I mean, Pruitt's a young guy.
So is Kiffin.
Well, yeah. Kiffin's younger than Pruitt. But, or at least back then. I don't know now. But what I was going to say is, my hope is...
I hate Kiffin.
That, you know, he's here to bring long-term success to UT.
Right.
As we mentioned, he played at Alabama. If Saban retires at Alabama, he's been super successful here. If Saban leaves Alabama, the first thing Alabama's going to do is go for one of the most successful potential coaches they can get. Maybe try and take our coach.
Okay, which is understandable.
Don't blame Alabama and wouldn't blame
Right.
Pruitt.
The thing with Kiffin I didn't like Kiffin when he started. Josh will tell you I did not like him from the get-go. From the moment I was like, I don't like him. I don't want him here. Josh will tell you this. Josh actually was opposite opinion than I was.
I wasn't happy with the former situation.
No, neither was happy. Like I said, I cried like a baby.
I thought that there was potential for Kiffin to be a good coach. I don't think his time at UT necessarily proved otherwise, but then when he went to USC and he had a completely loaded program that he tanked.
There's a girl at work. She's like, I can't hate him. He left for his dream job. And I'm like, clearly his dream job didn't mean enough to him. He got fired from it.
Yeah. Well, and I think.
And then he went to Alabama. And they left him twice. They tried to leave him behind. And he kept finding his way back. Seriously, come on. Your team leaves you.
I mean, yeah. Well, when you go to
twice.
When you go to Alabama, I know there's going to be some expectations because of the head coach.
But still, your team leaves you twice. Not once, but twice. And you had to find your way home. Just give it up, Kiffin. Stay at home.
Release.
Maybe some high school team will take you.
Well, he's at UCF now, which is like I don't know, as bad as UT's been the past year. I don't want to talk too much shit, but that's like a college equivalent of a high.
But seriously, if you up in the middle of the night
50,000 students,
leave without saying a word
well,
to go coach your dream job.
Well, things like Orgeron apparently at that point, as an assistant, already at USC, trying to calling UT recruits, trying to get them to go to USC. That's kind of some shady shit.
I have no love, zero. Which he
Pete
and a lady at work like to give me shit about Kiffin. Well, you at one point, we didn't post that video. But a lady at work constantly was like, your man is in nomination for, I'm like, shut up.
I just do that stuff because it's funny.
Yeah, well, she did too, because she just thought it was hilarious.
But, I mean, when Pete Carroll went to the Seahawks, of course, he's running because he's afraid there's going to be possible sanctions and stuff against USC. But every year when Pete Carroll was at USC, they were loaded. And, I mean, how easy is it to get loaded teams at USC? I mean, you got this huge, gorgeous campus in Southern California. It's anybody that's like a super talent in the world goes there because you're already. I mean, it's almost like playing in the pros before you even have an opportunity to play in the pros.
Lane's wife was so embarrassed by him before she left him.
Well, I always heard she hated Tuscaloosa.
She probably hated him too. Truth be told.
Well, I mean, probably, She's got like 7 chins now.
I can't stand him. I would love to see him. I'd punch him dead in the face. Square in the nose.
He's probably...
He's probably too scared to even come back to Tennessee.
Well, he always coached on the sidelines, but I don't know if you remember seeing this stuff, but remember when Alabama came to Neyland Stadium to play, he coached in the booth. He wouldn't even go down on the sidelines. But, and I mean, this is like in all honesty regarding Kiffin, he probably is a good coordinator. And he can take over a team that's got some talent and win a few games with that team. And that was like when he took over after Fulmer. That was the thing at UT that when Fulmer was at UT, there were more UT players in the NFL than any other school. There was never a lack of talent at UT. I mean, during the time that Fulmer was at UT, I mean, Peyton Manning came out of UT. Jason
Peyton,
Witten,
I'm still mad at you too for going golfing with Trump.
Yeah, well, that's just done.
That has totally destroyed me.
But, I mean...
because I'm a diehard Peyton fan too, and that has just totally ruined me.
But and Peyton's possibly the greatest pro quarterback that ever played. Came out of UT under Fulmer. Witten, one of the best at his positions that ever played. Came out of UT under Fulmer. Arian Foster came out of UT under Fulmer.
Is he better?
He's retired.
Oh, no, he's not who I'm thinking of. Yeah. Barry's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Well, and it'll be next year before he comes back. The Chiefs are still going.
So next year, Chiefs will be our
Yeah.
our go-to NFL team.
Now, as far as, Eric Berry came to UT under Fulmer. He played under, he actually played better under Fulmer. When Kiffin came, that was Berry's last year. Berry played under
I think
Kiffin.
a lot of people after the Fulmer deal that played, that were still here, just kind of like,
were
let down.
Like Evan Berry.
Yeah.
And,
because,
I'm blanking on his brother's name.
Aaron?
Well, Eric was...
Eric and...
Evan and...
Eric.
There's the twins, though. Evan and his twin brother. Eric's their older brother.
Oh. Aaron?
No.
Eric?
It's another E. Elliot. So...
Who's Aaron?
There's no Aaron Berry.
There's not?
No. But anyway, their dad played at UT.
But
Eric Berry played at UT. So Evan Berry and Elliot Berry...
People came here for Fulmer.
Fulmer was
They came here
recruit.
to play for Fulmer. There are people who came here to play for Jones.
Well, Jones was
And which I think why
was a
is,
good recruiter too.
which I think, I could be wrong, is why Kelly's leaving to go into the NFL.
I believe that's why some of them are leaving. Now, some people, like Kelly, Kelly's probably already got an agent in his ear telling him, you can go pro, you can make some money.
I hate to see him leave this year. Understand, wish him nothing but the best. Go to the Chiefs. But, I wish
that would be awesome. Actually, the Chiefs already have a great running back here.
But, I think, I know, like, when Fulmer resigned, there were people like, I came here because of him. And I know that there are recruits who came here because of Jones.
Well, that was a bit of an iffy situation because of when Kiffin came in, because there were players that came because of Fulmer.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a bit iffy back then.
Well, who was the one that did that stupid rant?
Jordan Jennings.
Yeah, is he coming back?
Apparently the coaches said they would talk to him. I haven't heard any more. Fulmer, here's the thing.
I totally understand your rant. Totally get it. But don't do stuff like that, please.
He's a young guy.
I know,
and he got these things that are available, and that's the thing. You can't hold them all to these.
I know,
mistakes.
but you gotta just like.
Well, no, he has to learn. He's an adult now. He's responsible for learning.
Because trust me, I do my rants. I do my rants every day, all day long.
They might be technically.
But I'm not in the public eye. I know we do these and whatnot, but I'm nobody.
But they might be technically
somebody.
adults, but they're still, a lot of it, they're still kids. They have access to a lot of these things.
And I know he was mad about the situation.
Right. And a lot of us that are older adults who might be like, get him out of here and all that stuff. Yeah, we all didn't have, Snapchat and YouTube.
Well, like I said,
that wasn't
I say
there
stuff
when we
all
were
the
20
time.
years old. So all that stupid
But I'm a
shit
nobody. My future doesn't depend on these.
Right. But all that stupid shit wasn't around for it to be recorded permanently when we did dumb stuff.
Just remember, because with one of our daughters,
you can be forgiven for it so many times.
Social media will bite you in the ass every single time you turn around.
But one thing, here's one thing though. Fulmer's the AD now.
Yes.
And I'm
so excited. I'm so excited he's an AD. Finally.
Fulmer is when he thinks that it can be in the best interest of one of the players, he is a very forgiving guy.
Do you know what? Honestly, one of my bucket list things is to meet Philip Fulmer. That is a bucket list thing for me because I just love him. I want to meet him. I have loved him for decades. I want to meet him.
That might be possible. But if there was an AD out there who would say,
you know what? I'm not tweeting.
This is a kid who made a mistake. We'll give him another chance and try and help him be better.
Well, I think
that AD is Fulmer.
Philip Fulmer. Yeah, absolutely. Because you can be a hard ass with your people, with your kids, your students, whatever. But you also have to be. It's like being a parent. You have to be understanding also, because at one point you were that age. You did that stuff. Only what, like you said, is accessible to them now was not accessible to us. So we don't have the.
Well, I can remember there was a player that was there when he was when Fulmer was coach, and I can't remember. He's a talented player. I think he recruited him as a quarterback, but he ended up playing a receiver. I cannot remember the guy's name. Fulmer ended up getting him off the team. But then he helped him get on another team in another school. I cannot remember that player's name. But it was at a point where, it was a disciplinary issue. He had already helped him to certain points, and he couldn't do it anymore. So he helped him get into a different school. I think it was like Carson Newman or a small one. And now I can't think of it. But, he seems to be there for the players.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think Tennessee's going to come back. I think, as much as we liked Butch Jones, as good a coach as he was, he brought Tennessee some winning seasons for a few years, and then when Tennessee had a down year, he wasn't given any leeway, and I don't agree with that. But given the new situation in the athletic department, I do believe that Tennessee athletics and Tennessee sports are in store for better times than we've seen. In the past 20 years. So, I think Tennessee athletics from the 90s, and, I think we should see some of that again.
Mm-hmm. I'm tweeting Trump, or not Trump, shit. I've already tweeted him today. Pretty much telling him how much I hate him. Right now I'm tweeting Fulmer to tell him my bucket list is to meet him.
Call Fulmer Trump.
I know. I'm so sorry. Because I do follow him at Phil Fulmer. It's fuzzy so you can't see it, but it says at Fulmer. Phil Fulmer. One of my bucket list goals is to meet you in person and get an autograph. Well, get a picture and autograph. So I have to correct that. So, at Philip Fulmer, one of my bucket list goals is to meet you in person, comma, get a picture, comma, and photograph. Or autograph, yeah. I said picture already. Thank you. Hashtag life goals Hashtag. Why did that separate though? VFL. Hashtag. GBO. Hashtag. I love my balls.
If you're watching this and you're not a UT fan, VFL is Vol for life.
And GBO is Go Big Orange.
Yeah.
And, oh, damn it. You still can't see it. There's my tweet.
Below.
My phone cuts off after 30 seconds. There's my tweet. Hopefully he will say, meet me at such and such, or I'll be at such and such. And I can get a picture and an autograph. Bucket list. That's my bucket list. I would love to meet him. I've heard he's a really nice guy. How can he not be? I've seen him chew a guy out in his ear and tap him on the butt as it's okay. How can you not love that guy?
Yeah.
That was one of my bucket list goals. I would love to meet him in person.
Maybe he'll respond. You never know.
God, I'd be so excited.
She'll probably video it if it was.
Oh, yes, I will. Yes, I will, girl. Oh, yes, I will. So this video has lasted longer than we expected. We got on a football tangent. Football is our life. Josh was a football player. I was not, but I love my UT Vols.
It's one of the things. We started this out talking about our couple goals and all that sort of stuff. But
we're passionate about our football.
watching UT football is one of the things that, as a couple, we enjoy.
We've mentioned this in another post. But my first UT game was with Josh. Well, my only game I have actually been to was with Josh. And it was with his work people. And I stood up and I was so excited the whole damn game.
We went and saw them play Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yeah.
2015 season.
Yes, first game of the season. Oh my God, I was excited. I stood, I yelled, I sang.
Maybe it's 2016 season. It started 2016 season.
We're in 18, 17,
Now we're
16.
year before last, right?
No, it was the year before that because you started all side
Oh,
in 2016.
I guess it would have been.
So 15 was right.
Okay.
But I'm hooping and I'm hollering. Broke the decibel record. Coincidence? I think not.
We
And-
damn near beat Oklahoma.
Yeah, and his work people just kept looking at me the entire game, and I'm like, why are y'all sitting down? Come on, this is exciting. Fun times. It was like one of the best days ever. So I'm excited to go to another game.
There'll be fun ones where we get to go and see wins. The most exciting game I've ever seen live was in the 98 season when we beat Florida in double overtime.
Well, I'd say that was. Because that was a pretty awesome. I mean, I watched it on TV, but.
Yeah, I mean, that was.
I bet that was. Oh my God, I can only imagine. I think we played Florida home this year. I think.
I mean, they got a new coach too, but I think we did better than they did. And I think we have more working for us player-wise than them. Last year they beat us, but it was a fluke.
We're going to have to go to some games this year. I'm getting chills thinking about it.
I think.
Like, that was the best time. Like, oh my God. A company or a vendor that they had gave them tickets to go, and they did a tailgate. Oh my God, it was fun.
What did we have? Barbecue?
Yeah, barbecue and beers.
Oh, yeah, there was beer.
Two important things. We got t-shirts, which we still have, which are...
She's ready.
Because we keep them out all year long. Actually, Butch Jones on the back. Our Tennessee Tough. We do wear these on occasion in our videos. There's
and we'll
my.
still wear them because we're still proud
Yep.
of our time with Butch Jones.
Oh. So, there's our Tennessee shirts that we got for free.
We'll get us some Pruitt-related stuff.
We will. Although they need to spell his name right. If I were him, I'd be upset they didn't spell my damn name right.
Well, and I didn't see the thing, but, you know, if I eat is going to be your catchphrase, I mean, seriously, he's got better things to say than that.
Well, it's better than the mullet. Although I really wanted that guy to be here because...
Yeah, I like him as a coach, but...
Oh, my God.
The mullet is terrible, yeah.
The mullet is terrible. But, what you showed me, like what he said...
You just have to cope that...
He just I'm like, I love that dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you have to hope that Pruitt's the same kind of guy. That's like the thing about like Dooley. Like if Dooley was sitting there and the press was like beating on him about a player, Dooley would have just been like, yeah, that dude just sucks ass, man. You know, or whatever. Because he just...
Which I hated because
he was too nice.
Yeah, but I liked Dooley because he was a nice guy, which was not right because you have to be a hard ass if you're a coach. But you can be a hard ass and a soft guy at the same time, like Fulmer. I'm going to chew your ass out, but then I'm going to tell you it's okay. We can get them next time, pat you on the butt, and go on.
Yeah.
You know, I know you have to be that way.
Even Fulmer was a little like.
I think because I hated Kiffin so bad, that made me like Dooley even more. I think that's part. I mean, like I didn't like Kiffin from the get-go, and like I said earlier, he will tell you from the moment they say Kiffin's going to be coach, I'm like, I don't like him.
Well, when Fulmer was a coach, like say the press was like talking about a player, Fulmer would have been like, you know what, we'll look at the film and then we'll talk about it as a team or something. He would have just
blown you off.
He wouldn't have done what Gundy did either.
No.
Fulmer wasn't that kind of guy.
No.
He wouldn't have thrown a player under the bus. He would have just said, you know what? We're going to review the tape and we'll talk about it.
But dude, let me tell you, the video he showed me on this Gundy guy, I'd never seen it before, and I was just like, oh my God.
Oklahoma State, not Gundy. Most football fans have perhaps seen it.
Love him. Because he was like, don't you come in here and you tear down this guy who's doing everything right. He goes to school. He makes good grades. He's out here playing his heart out. He does everything for the team. Don't you come out here and tear him down. You tear me down. You don't tear him. And I'm just like,
yeah.
What? Oh, my God. I was just like, I love him. I want him here.
When that happened, everybody's making fun of him going, I'm a 40-year-old man. I can take it. Don't do this to this person who's a kid.
Right.
You know.
Why would you tear that down? Oh my God. I love him.
Right. A lot of people are making fun of it, but I'm like,
totally should not be.
I remember being a football player, and I'm like, if I was that player or any of those players, and that coach did that to me, I'd run through a fucking brick wall for that coach.
Yes. I mean, I was just like, when Josh showed me that, I was like, I want him here. I want him to be our coach. Let's root for him. I want him here. I want him here. Yes, that's what we need.
But I think he wanted to be at Oklahoma State. I mean,
well, I agree with you. But, I mean, they are lucky. And I really, really, really hope that they appreciate what they have in him. Because I've never, ever, ever seen another coach do that. I mean, that took balls. That took...
Well, I mean, you know, and he's...
I mean, people making... Shame on you assholes that made fun of him for doing that. Because, oh my God, if your child was the one being ridiculed in that article that he was talking about, would you not want your coach, the coach of your child, to do that for your child?
Well, and imagine...
I mean, seriously.
Now, too, though, imagine you're the parents of a super talented player. And that coach is sitting in your living room wanting that player to come to his thing, his school. And you remember what he did for that other player.
I'll be like,
are you not going to be like, I want my kid going there?
Exactly. Oh my God. I mean, like...
And the thing of it is, like, Oklahoma State hasn't won the national championship with them or anything like that.
If Tennessee's not playing, I will root for Oklahoma State just for that, dude.
Yeah.
Because that is freaking totally awesome.
But, I mean, Oklahoma State right now is in a similar situation as Tennessee. They're in a division that's got Oklahoma in it. You've got Texas, you've got Nebraska, you've got these other places who have an easier time recruiting than you do. You're always fighting an uphill battle. And at some point, he could break through and win that championship.
In my opinion, every coach should be like him. No matter what division you're in.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's not because he's...
No, I know that. I'm just saying...
I'm saying he's a great coach. And what he's done at Oklahoma State, he's done a great job because he's always fighting an uphill battle.
But that's what I mean.
He's in the same state as Oklahoma.
That's what I'm saying is like every coach should have that mentality.
I agree.
Because, oh my God, I would love to see another coach just step up and be like,
well, and
and not be like, well, today wasn't our day. Today we had terrible offense, or we had terrible defense, or blah, 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 blah. It'd be like, you know what? These guys came out here and they played hard. They did their best. I mean, because you don't hear coaches say that.
Right.
You don't. Unless they win. Well, they came out here and they played their hardest and they did blah, 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 blah. No. Even if they lose, they did their best. Because no team's goal is to freaking lose, people.
And you see...
This is very long and we're sorry, but we're on a tangent now.
You see coaches that are like, they lose and they're like, they will say, you know, our team did the best that they could do. There were some things that didn't go their way. They'll say things like that. But when somebody...
But seriously, it's like putting peanut butter on jelly. They're just trying to smooth it over.
When somebody calls out a particular player there was a newspaper article, if I remember the rank.
Yeah, because he had the paper, and he was just like, and I actually think that
reporter might have been in that room.
That reporter was there because he kept looking at one particular person. Because his eyes were on one direction at the end.
What if this was your kid?
Right, and that guy at the end, like at the end of that particular video, he was just like, so I'm thinking it was that reporter.
Well, maybe.
It might not be, but he was looking at that direction, and that guy seemed totally embarrassed by the time it was all done. And he should have been if he was the one who written it. Wrote it, whatever.
Even if to a degree, and I'm not even saying he did.
We're on football tangent.
But if you looked at it to say, even to a degree, if he made himself look like a fool, he did it, and in the process of that, made himself look like a hero to every player on that team, to every player he's recruiting. Even if he blew the whole thing out of proportion, the resonance of it is that he is a hero to everyone who ever plays for him.
Because I can tell you, as a parent, and you've been a football player. I've not been a football player. Our kids have not played football.
I've been a football player to a coach who was completely shitty to his players.
I personally, as a mother, I would be like, that's who I want for my child's coach.
I have been in a locker room where the coach came in at halftime and physically was grabbing players and throwing them.
Oh, I'd have punched him.
Well, I mean, as
a mom, I would have punched him.
Well, I mean,
I'm a hothead.
No parent was in that room.
Yeah, well, if you came out and said he did this, I'd be in there in his damn face, and I'd be that type of parent.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, that's the difference between a coach whose only concern is how they are perceived on the sidelines versus how their players perceive them in the locker room.
Well, you know me as a person, and I guarantee you, if any of the kids, even you, even if you're an adult, as an adult, I have said words to people that I didn't agree with because I thought their intentions were not correct. I'm just that type of person. If I love you and you tell me someone's done something, I will be in that person's face in a heartbeat.
But
without even thinking about it. So if you were my child and I'm not saying because you may not have ever told your mom, so I don't know that situation. But if you were my child and you came home and you said, well, this coach is, I'll be like, oh, no.
No.
I would be at that coach's, in that coach's face. And I would be. I would be in that coach's face and be like, no, we don't do that.
Yeah. No, I mean,
because I'm going to beat your ass all over this damn locker room.
I didn't ever say anything about it because it's one of those things, like, it's a weird situation when you're in the locker room and that's the environment that you're in.
I don't care.
But you're not hearing what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
Then you don't.
But I'm a hothead.
You don't think about it as being out of the ordinary to say something. But, I mean, like, I remember in the Lake City newspaper from when I broke my femur, and they wouldn't cut the chain on the gate to let the ambulance in. So I'm laying
Which
there
is ridiculous.
on the field.
And your coach kept, like, moving your leg.
There's a picture on the front page of the paper, and Mom is in the picture, and she's like that. I have no idea who she's yelling at, but somebody.
Well, that's ridiculous. I'm sure your mom would have, like, beat someone's ass.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, Mom absolutely would have. But it's like when it's one of those things, it's like when you're in there.
So I'm not saying anything bad about his mother, because I love his mother.
When you're in there in the locker room, you're like, at the same time, you're like, part of your mind is like, this is ridiculous. And then the other part of your mind is like, it's not so out of the ordinary that you just don't go back out and play more football. But I don't think that makes you play harder.
I was hoping that was another Twitter follower. I was hoping that was Philip Fulmer responding to me.
But, like, as far as my Gundy goes.
I'm not trying to raise pussies. But if I feel you're out of line when it comes to the children or my husband, I will be in your face very quickly. And it's not that he can't take care of himself or the kids can't take care of themselves. It's just the type of person I am. Because you don't fuck with my family. You know this about me. You do not fuck with my family. Kids, grandkids, or my spouse, you do not fuck with. Because I will be the worst person you ever met. Or people I care about in general. Because there are people who aren't any of those that I've just been like, oh, no, wait a minute. So if I care about you, I got your back. And if I don't care about you, you're on your own. There's probably more of those than I care about, but if something bothers someone, I will address it. But anyway. So we've done a football, like, very long rant.
Yeah, we're like an hour and 38 minutes.
So welcome to number 2, the longest podcast we've had so far. Get us talking about football. Is it longer than the first one?
I think
So we'll wrap it up. But anywho, love our family, love our UT balls, love each other. Going to focus on each other. Going to lose weight for this year so we can have our 15th anniversary photo shoot of our non-wedding wedding. Looking forward to that. I'm so excited about that.
And as far as the podcast goes, I guess most importantly is
have fun, experience each other.
If you're watching this because you've seen us and you kind of like what we have and you want to have that in your marriage, or you're looking on YouTube for, like marriage advice or something, and you happen to stumble over this and you end up watching it all of this time.
Thank you.
Yeah. But
First and foremost, thank you.
The important thing is, if you're having marriage issues and you're looking online or wherever for solutions, then congratulations, because you're trying. You're not just letting it go. You're not just saying, well, I guess it's bad, so whatever,
Right.
So there's a start right there.
Mm-hmm.
But
there have been many rough times in our marriage. And it's not been us per se. It has been situations.
But you do have to say that I'm continuing.
Because life throws us curveballs almost daily. And it's how you approach the curveballs is what makes it work.
At some point though, if you're 25 and you've been married for 2 or 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
or if you're 35 or 40 and you've been married 10 years or whatever.
I mean, I know people have been married 20-some years and got no divorce.
Right. But at some point you have to say, hey, and if say you're at a rough patch, at some point you have to say, you know what, this is a rough patch, but I want to be married to this person when I'm 80.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be married to this person for 10 years and have it end. I want to be married to this person for 50 years when we die.
I think one important thing is, can you envision the person you're with at that stage in your life?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because I said before we got married. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've said before we got married, I'm like, I can envision us old and holding, like we hold hands all the time. Like just a minute ago, we were both, which you couldn't see, but we were holding hands.
We were holding hands going into the grocery store.
We hold hands going up our front yard to the car, because we don't have a driveway, so we have to go up our front yard, and we have parking spaces at the end of our yard, the front of our yard, and we hold hands walking up to there. And when we're getting out of the vehicle, he waits on me and he holds my hand coming down. We have a very rooty yard. We have a lot of trees in our front yard, so he holds my hand a lot. But I mean, we hold hands in the car. We hold hands in bed. I mean,
sometimes we're not even. I wake up and we weren't.
Right, we're facing each other and our arm is up and we're holding hands.
But there are times like I've dozed off and then wake up and all that. We've changed positions, and we're like holding hands in a different position or something. We've just done it in our sleep, and it's part of that is just that you get used to each other, and that there's nothing wrong with that at all. Mm-hmm. I don't think you get used to each other as that comfort.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times like when you're in bed and you have a bad dream, and obviously when you're an adult, I mean, you're not like a kid. You don't wake up just screaming or crying or whatever. You just wake up and you had a dream and you're like, this is a shitty dream. And then
the only time I can remember is like once a few months ago, like you kind of gently woke me up because I was having a bad dream. I was like screaming or something.
Yeah, well, if I hear you making noise or something, and it sounds like, I'll try to do that. I always heard you don't just wake somebody up.
I've heard you never wake someone up from either sleepwalking or a dead sleep.
I'll try to be gentle, but I just mean like say I woke up and I've had a dream and it was like a shitty dream, and I'll just I'll get close to you.
Well, that's what I do. I'll get closer to you because I need that comfort.
It's like a comfort, and just laying near you is a comfort. And
sometimes if I have a really, really bad dream or something scares me, or I feel like, oddly enough, something's watching me or something, I kind of nudge him to face me, so that we can be face to face. Because to me, that's the most comforting sometimes. But if I'm having a bad dream and he's facing the other way, I'll spoon him, which is harder for me because I'm shorter than him. But I just need to be close to him. But sometimes if it's really bad, I will kind of nudge him to face me.
But you just
to go to sleep. because I need him to like look at me. Well, although he's not looking at me, but to face me.
You can't just unconsciously coast through a great marriage.
Mm-mm.
No two people have ever
Not fought or
no two
difficulties.
people have ever just coasted through 20, 30, 50 years of life together without at some point saying, we want this and nothing will prevent this. And so that's what you have to do. And it's all conscious, whether it's that you find the things that are fun to do together. You find things that bring you closer. You find ways in which the other one brings you comfort, and you focus on those. But there's nothing about it that happens without effort. And nothing about that fact makes it any less valuable. You know, in the romantic movies or in the romantic stories, it always just automatically happens, and then
we all want that, right?
But the whole
all women do anyway.
The whole off into the sunset thing.
Yeah.
You know, it just, because after that you're just coasting. You know, after you complete your romantic story, you're just coasting.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not
how life is.
It's not how life is, but to me, that's not the beauty of the people who make it all that time. The people who make it all that time are the people who determine that the other person is worth it, and they fight. Every day.
Life isn't easy.
Fight.
Marriage isn't any easier.
If people just automatically came together and they coasted off into the sunset and that was their life, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything that was worth showing the other person that they loved them the way that the people who go, you know what, every day of our life is fucked up and I fight to have the great relationship with my spouse because I love them. And no matter how fucked up things are, every day I'm going to remember why they're worth it. That's a million times better than coasting off into the sunset.
He is way better at that than I am, because as I mentioned before, either in a video or a podcast, I can't remember, I'm bipolar. So sometimes when life gets really, really hard, I am ready to give up. I'm just like, he deserves better. I don't know why he's here. If I'm hateful to him, he's better off, because then maybe he'll realize he can do better and he can go on and be happy. I'm just meant to not be happy. But he is a fighter. And he for some reason sticks around, which I'm thankful for, because I have fewer bad days than I have good days. I mean, I used to have bad days. It seems like I have little spurts where I have really bad days, and then I have really good days. But I think my bad days have gotten to where they are fewer. And because I know I am difficult. I know I can be a difficult person to live with. Luckily, he is a very patient and loving person, and for some reason loves this nut job. But he is a very understanding person who knows, although when at difficult times, I know it's difficult. I know there are difficult times that it is hard to love me. Because it has to be. You can love me, but I know there are times it's just like, oh my God.
Well, I mean, to me,
But I work hard to be better.
Like the concept going back into like, and mostly I'm like now for anyone still patiently watching. I'm talking to anybody probably who's in a newer relationship and thinks that they can get through a hard part, or this could be anybody who's just gone through a hard part and things are a little better now. Anybody who thinks that you can do the whole ride off into the sunset thing, it's not possible.
Mm-mm.
And the reason I say it's not possible is because
all want the
because if
fairy
you
tale
did
movie thing.
if you could do it, the only way that it's possible for two people to do the whole ride.
But even those people have the struggle to get to the horse ride in the sunset.
But I'm just saying, if you could ride off into the sunset and there's no struggles in your relationship ever for the rest of your life, if that's the story,
no, then they're living a lie.
They're not talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're not expressing themselves to each other. All they're doing is smoothing things over with each other so that they never have a fight or anything. So, what kind of relationship is that? The better relationship is one where you have the fights because
You get to make up.
well, but you're always honest with each other when you do that. So when you disagree, it's because you're telling each other what you think. The other one may not like it.
Right. Which I have a lot usually.
So you end up, but
still not former.
when you do that and you make up and you do that, it's sort of like you're saying, you know what? You're going to say shit I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say shit you don't like. We're going to get into it over it. But you know what? In 50 years, we're still going to be together. I have no doubt about that, because it doesn't matter if we fight constantly, because you don't want to fight constantly, but it doesn't matter if you fight constantly, maybe you shouldn't be together. But you know what I'm saying though. It doesn't matter if we get into fights, because you're going to get through it, and there's no doubt that you're going to get through it. And the reason that you don't doubt you're going to get through it is because even if any moment might be bad, you always know that it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people might also relate to this, because this drives me crazy. He knows this drives me crazy.
You can talk about this, because this is going on while we drink a lot of beers.
One of the things that gets me about him is when I'm the type of person, when I get it out and I'm mad and I'm done with it, I'm done. I can act like nothing ever happened. But he can't let go of it that soon. He has to kind of it kind of sits with him, and then he has to kind of work his way back to normalcy. Whereas I'm mad, I'm done, I've got it out, I'm over it, let's move on. He's not moved on yet. And sometimes that presents a problem for us, because while he's still trying to get past it and I've moved on, because he hasn't been able to move past it, it brings me back down. And it's nothing against him, it's nothing against me, it's just how our personalities are. He needs time to regain himself, to get back to where we were, and I'm mad, I'm done, I've said what I need to say, I'm done, let's move on, and we're good.
Well, part of that,
he's not like that.
You're like a combination a little bit of an introvert, extrovert kind of personality.
Yeah, where you're introvert, I am both.
I'm like full on in.
He is full on, 100%. And
Introvert.
a lot of people don't understand how we're together.
So it takes, there's an internal process to everything.
Yes, there is.
And nothing can progress without understanding the why and how it got to there and what everything goes after that.
And to me, that doesn't matter. I'm done. I said what I need to say. I'm happy, let's move on. And he's
So-
not there yet.
But, to me, it's like, the process has to happen. It's not like I want to understand it all, or, what I'm saying? It's like, part of it is just to say, for me at this point in my life of understanding myself, is to think, well, now I just basically, I know that the process has to happen. So just do the process and then go on. And the process takes a certain amount of time.
Well, like I said, well, one, we both are individuals. And we both individually process things differently. The one thing that I did inherit from my biological father would be I'm mad, I've got it out, I'm over it. Because he was exactly the same. He is exactly the same way in I'm mad and it's done. But he is not like that. And then I try my best to be like, okay, he just needs time, he needs time, he needs time. We've had an argument or we've had a disagreement about something or whatever. He needs time, he needs time. But I've already bounced back and he's not. And sometimes that brings me back down. Because then I feel like we're still in that place that we were at, although we're not in the place we were at. Because he needs his time to process. But sometimes that's where we get to. And then it kind of sometimes starts back over. So not everything is rosy. But when it's all said and done, we get back to who we are.
Well, I guess that's sort of like in the beginning when you need time.
Yeah.
You want to be.
But there are times
then
I can hold a freaking grudge for a long time.
But then after that, like, just.
So I'm a work in, I always say I'm a work in progress. In fact, my next tattoo is going to be God is still working on me. And it's going to be right here down my forearm, my left arm with a semicolon. We all know what the semicolon means. So that is going to be my next tattoo. And I'm a work in progress even when it comes to after 14 years of marriage. It's not that I don't understand him, because I do understand him. I just need to remember he needs to do his thing. He remembers I need to do mine, which tends to be shorter, but sometimes it is longer, depending on the situation. But most of the time, he needs to get his process through.
Well, even with that, I should probably round it up pretty quick, so I think they cut off, but.
It's not that we don't love each other. We have our spats.
Well,
if you were
any
normal couple has their spats, so whether they want to admit to it or not. They're the couples that want to present themselves as the perfect little couple. No couple is the perfect couple.
If you're going to be on it, if you're going to have a good relationship, pick and choose. You could say, okay, there's two kind of relationships I could have, and there's a spectrum, but you could say, okay, I'm going to have the relationship where we never get in an argument. But
your life is a lie.
At the same time, never getting an argument is going to prevent that ultimate closeness.
Right.
So you could have a relationship, it could last however long, and you could never have the down times, but you're also never going to experience what it's like to be so close to someone.
In my first marriage, I never felt like I could be me. Although Josh might be sometimes like, I really wish you weren't you. But with you, it's just like, good or bad, I can be me.
Well, where was it? We were kind of having this discussion the other day with off camera, talking about when there were things that I was thinking I knew were going to upset you, and You know I'm not a confrontational person in general.
He is the least confrontational person
But
you've
when
ever met.
But when it comes to those things, I'm like, part of my brain's like, you shouldn't say this. And then the other part of my brain's like, well, here it comes. And when it comes to you, it's like, I'm telling you, this is what I'm thinking. This is me. This is it.
It goes
And
both ways, though. There are things I say that I sometimes wish I didn't. But if I didn't say them, then I would be holding back things that I feel.
Right. Well,
and then I'm not being honest. So it goes both. It does go both ways.
But I'm saying
if you really say you have the perfect marriage